It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998. And if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. What up? What up? It's your boy ConsoleViz34. Let me know if you guys have issues hearing me. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Got a little bit of a slight different setup with the mic tonight. But thank you guys for joining. If this is your first time here, if you've been here since day one, welcome. It's your boy ConsoleViz34. I'm a passionate sports and concert enthusiast, and my favorite band to see is the Dave Matthews Band. And that's why I have this show. So we are going to look at tonight's show here in Columbus, Ohio. We're looking to get at least one guest on. I have two lined up. I want to make sure they get back safely to be able to call in or at a safe spot where we can reach out to them. But we'll have, there's two people I know that were at the show tonight. And what a show it was. And if you guys were tuned in since the beginning, you heard Madman's Eyes. It's a song that premiered today from the band for the first time live. And it was, we'll get to that as well, a dark, deep, intricate song that I just listened to a couple of times before I came on. Shout out to DMB Live Videos. They had this up here very quickly, right as I was about to go on. And we're going to look at this set list as well, just so you guys can take a look. But what a show. What a show. You get 2 liberations as far as just full band, right? You have Broken Things and Dive In. We have a tour debut of She, and we have Madman's Eyes, as we said, as a song debut. But this show came out full steam ahead. It was very impressive to see that. And Connor says here, shout out to Connor, says, I will address the elephant in the room and say Madman's Eyes was an absolute killer song. Gave me Before These Crowded Street vibes. Absolutely. And as we're gonna actually talk about that here is this song. And I'm gonna actually play this again for you guys. We'll play it in chunks. And just in case there's any copyrights, fair use. But this song was amazing. And to me, this is the heaviest song since What You Are. To me, that's just how I feel about it. And yes, you've had American Baby intro. You've had some other stuff that has been rock. But when I talk about heavy and in the depth and the energy and passion, I agree with Connor. It has those Before These Crowded Street vibes. But to me, I look back 20 years ago in 2001, and I look at What You Are. And that's what I really get from this song here. And let's just play a little bit of this. And John, shout out to John, fellow Connecticut friend. John, are you going to be at Mohegan? Let me know. So I think this may be the best show of the tour. You can argue that, and we'll get to that in a moment as well, as far as the set list. But let's take a look at this. Let's just take a little bit of a listen to this here. Again, fair use. This is Dave Matthews Band, Madman's Eyes. Just debuted today. So already you have this. This is the open E string on the acoustic guitar. And that's something you get from the Don't Drink the Water, Last Stop type thing. Even What You Are has that. So you have that open string, right? And you have the sax playing that, was it the minor pentatonic? Which again, Last Stop, same type of thing. Let's keep listening. And Connor says, I personally thought this was an intro to Don't Drink the Water. And actually, they put Don't Drink the Water on the, I believe it was on Ants Marching. Yeah, the Egyptian sound, just like that, minarets. It has that same type of vibe as well. And again, this is Jeff is really channeling his inner Leroy. I really feel the vibes of Leroy on Before These Crowded Streets and on Minarets, right? That it's beautiful, minor pentatonic sound or scale, minor pentatonic scale sax, and it really sounds like what the spirit of Leroy. Obviously, it's Jeff playing, but you really get that. And yeah, they actually put this on initially, I believe, as "Don't Drink the Water." I saw it pop up and then get deleted from the Ants Marching DMB Live app. But yeah, the intro just has that same type of minarets. Now we're going to get to some of the rest of the songs. And this is interesting. So this is a D minor. That's an A major. It's very similar. So I'm going on my, you can't see it, but it's very similar to Dancing Nancy's. So it's very similar that, so you got this D sharp minor, and then you go up to the A. And then the first part is that E minor or E type thing. So it's very interesting how, I just love that though. It goes from the minor, this is a D minor, to that full A. And that's again using that minor pentatonic scale. And if you notice too, what I like about this, and where it's at the beginning, you hear Dave's guitar. You don't hear Tim. Now, Tim is playing some heavy electric stuff too, but it's not as overbearing as Don't Drink the Water. And you can hear Dave's guitar. That's really what Minarets is. When Minarets, you can hear Dave's guitar. And you hear the acoustic percussiveness. That's awesome. It's awesome that you have that spirit of it. Because what makes, to me, Don't Drink the Water so meh is that the fact that it's too loud, and you don't get that. Minarets has a percussiveness to it that you don't get in Don't Drink the Water because everyone's playing over D. So that's what I like about this song. Let's keep playing this. And that's, that I love this little part. So that's A, G, F sharp minor, then back. And you want the link? Let me get you the link here. Oh, what I'll do is I'll get you the link. This is the link for the video. You want to check it out. And yeah, if you want to check out the rest of the song, but that's pretty much the gist of it. An amazing song as far as just what you're getting from this band this late. And I think one of the things you have to realize too, it's hard to make a dark song like this late in the band's career when everything is good. You know, even you think about music, right? A lot of artists, oh, I miss their old stuff, right? Well, when artists are 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, all the way up to their 30s, till they turn 30, unless they have a drug problem, unless they have a significant thing happen in life where they almost die, right? They're not going to be able to channel the darkness of their youth, right? And Dave is married, right? Dave has children that just went to college or have graduated high school. I don't know if they're attending college per se, but they're college age. So it's hard at that point to then come up with this dark, deep stuff that late in your career. So I really respect this. And shout out to Trish DMB. We were talking about it. She mentioned, you know, all the stuff going on in the world being a contributing factor to why Dave is doing this. And that is something that may be, you know, with the pandemic, with everything going on, all the different things that we're plagued with in this world. There's a lot going on right now. And maybe that's what Dave is channeling. But even so, it's hard to do this. It is very hard to make a dark song like this late in your career. But to me, this sounds better than a lot of the stuff from Come Tomorrow. Not that I don't like Black and Bluebird and Virginia in the Rain, but Dark DMB is the best DMB. What You Are from 2001, one of my favorite songs from that album just because of what you got from it. It's just so deep and dark and inspiring. Some Devil is an amazing album because Dave is so personal on it, right? It's personal, and that's really what makes the best music. You know, I don't know if any of you guys like R&B, but like Mary J. Blige, when she was going through it in her personal life, it was fire. Kanye West, now some people may not like Kanye, but I'm a huge Kanye fan. And My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was one of his best later albums, probably the best late album of his career. But again, he was going through so much at that time. So it is just, to me, this is a great song. It has the spirit of that Egyptian type, um, you know, style or traditional music. It's minor, that's minor pentatonic, and it's amazing. It's a beautiful song, and Dark DMB is the best DMB. That's not to say I don't like the happy stuff. I love Granny opening in a show, right? I love Pig. I love some of the other stuff. But to me, the Dark DMB, the Stone, What You Are, Shotgun, this is the best. A Dream So Real. And KJ Basement Tony C says he thought it was Minarets. Right. Yeah, it was very hard to tell. It sounded like an intro to a couple of different songs from that Before These Crowded Streets, You Remember Two Things type era. But it was just, to me, a great song with what I want to see from this band, right? I want to see this dark stuff come back. I don't want this. And again, I understand what Dave is in his life. Come Tomorrow, the title song from his last album, was horrible. All right. Great message, horrible song. I don't want to hear that from Dave. He can have great love songs and happy songs, like Walk Around the Moon and Ocean and the Butterflies, a perfect example. A great upbeat song that to me sounds great live. It translates well live. Heard it live at the Gorge for the first time, and it was amazing. So that is a great song. That's where we're at with this. I want to talk to Alan. So let me see if we can get him on. Alan Thompson. We're going to try to get Jessica F as well. So let me just make sure we can connect them here. All right, and just bear with me. All right, so we're gonna call Talking Tunes, aka Alan, and the guest that I'll have on tonight, Alan, from Ohio. He is actually we're gonna be actually meeting up for the first time at Mohegan in real life, for the first time. But he's been a great friend. He personally sent me some live music. So shout out to Alan here. So let's see if we can get him on. And let me know if you guys can hear him.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Alan?
Hey, what's going on?
You are live on the show.
Live. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, and let me know, guys, in the chat if you guys can hear him. Let me know.
I got my buddy Ben here with me too. Can you hear Ben? Say hi, Ben. What's going on?
Yeah. Oh, I can hear Ben very well. Awesome. Yes.
Yeah, he's got a better radio.
I don't have an indoor voice.
Yeah, he's got a better radio voice than me, so you'll probably be able to hear him much better.
Well, nice to see you there with him, Ben. And so, okay, people said they can hear you fine. So just talk about this show. What did you think about the Columbus, Ohio DMB show?
Well, I had a lot of thoughts, and I tried to remember them, but we were just listening to Yacht Rock Radio, so we got a little lost in the Yacht Rock. I was just telling Ben when we were leaving that of all the shows I've been to, I'll start out by saying this, but it's not like, you know me, I'm a big Dave Matthews Band fan. I mean, you know I am, and a big music fan, so all the shows for me are like a 10 out of 10. But out of all the shows I've been to, that was probably my least favorite one. Despite the liberations they had and the song debut, it was probably my least favorite one. But that doesn't take away for that I enjoyed it. There was a lot of energy, I thought, from the band. And I was thinking, over the past several years when Buddy first joined, there's the talk about, we miss Boyd and stuff like that. I mean, I know that's old and tired at this point, but I just keep thinking about that and how people come on the boards and groups and all that, and they throw out we want Boyd back and stuff like that. Hey, it's not happening. Get over it. If there's a way to measure the energy or the fun that the band is having throughout its whole existence, which there is no really way to measure that. If there is some way to really officially measure that, I don't think I've seen them ever having more fun playing since Buddy's been in the band, and especially now that he's kind of gelled with them. And I think that was the highlight for me, just seeing the band just off the charts with energy. In my opinion, they had a lot of energy playing and a lot of fun, and the crowd. It seemed like they were singing like every single line of every single song for the most part. So from a standpoint of just being an enjoyable show, I think it was an enjoyable show. But out of all the shows I've been to, I think maybe it was my least favorite, if that means anything.
Yeah. What made it your least favorite show?
I don't know. Maybe some of the set list I wasn't too impressed with. I mean, the closer, I've called that from a mile away. I text you. There's the Flying V. Space Between was kind of stale. Maybe it also had to do with my expectations of Columbus last time. In 2018, which is the last time the band played Columbus, which we had, the Break Free, the Sleep Dreamer, and, the You Never Know opener. And also maybe because in 2018, when they played Columbus in November, it's almost 3 years to the day, we were in the pit. Ben came with me for that show. We were in the pit, so maybe that just was a better experience. Our seats weren't too bad. They were in the lower bowl, maybe 3/4 of the way back. So just kind of a combination of that. But again, being my least favorite show doesn't mean it wasn't enjoyable. It's that the kind of the Dave Matthews Band experience. You go there and you kind of break down what you saw, what you expected, and based upon other shows, because they're all going to have their own thing. They're all going to be different. And I guess I should say that the person in front of us was
She was highly intoxicated.
Yes.
And by herself.
Yes, and very obnoxious. I thought my phone was going to get thrown on the ground because I was trying to text you something, and apparently she didn't like that I was texting during the break between space between and don't drink the water.
Okay. So
I almost had no way to communicate with you by the time the show was over.
Yeah, and we have it side by side. So we're looking at 2018, You Never Know opener, Kill the King, Liberation,
Right, Kill the King.
Sweet Emotion, and Sleep to Dreamer, both Liberations. You had Break Free as a tour debut, the first Break Free since 2016. So I can kind of see what you're saying is that the last time you saw them here, it was it was better. It was a well-rounded beginning and end. That they left the middle for the mediocre stuff. Funny
Right.
the Way It Is, or the near end, the main set, middle and end was mediocre. Right? Like from 14, like you had Jimmy Thing to end the set, She before that, Funny the Way It Is, Here on Out. That stuff ended it. So I can kind of see what you're saying is that the last time you were here, it was a historic show. But this time,
Right.
I think your expectations were feeling that you were going to get something like that. And this show was historic in the sense that you had the beginning of the show, they went guns blazing. The middle of the show was still good, but the end of the show was pretty mediocre. The end of the show was where they kind of mailed it in as far as the set list picks, and you at the show, you felt those versions of the songs were flat. So I see what you mean. It wasn't, you had a high, rare moment in 2018, and then 2021, still historic, but they ended pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, the Liberations were cool tonight. We had the Liberations in 2018, and we had the Liberations. They weren't top songs for me, like, a Break Free or a Kill the King or Sleep to Dreamer. I mean, they're still great songs, excellent songs, but I just kind of was like, all right, we're getting some Liberations. It seems like, what is Columbus the hot spot for some Liberations? They did it, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, this is what we're getting, I guess. So, we're probably going to have some filler in between. This is all we're kind of going to get. I mean, it was really cool to hear like the new song. It seemed, I don't know if you ended up hearing it on the Sirius broadcast, heard the song, what your thoughts are about it. But it seemed kind of out of style. It's not a cover to my knowledge, right? It's a new song.
Yep. So
Yeah.
we have it. I'll send it to you. I'll text it to you. We just got someone ripped it from Sirius XM and just put it up as we went on the air.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I
it
just-
seemed like, it was, which is okay. I mean, the band doesn't need to have a style. I mean, they're pretty eclectic as it is, but it just seemed kind of out of style for the band. It was a good song. It just, I think I need to hear it more, and maybe with what I hear in the new album or a new album maybe coming out, that may be on there, may not be. Who knows? Maybe we'll have to see what it sounds like in the studio context. But it was cool to hear. It was cool to be there. You don't get that many chances for a song debut these days anymore. So
Right.
that was cool to experience. And I know Ben had an interesting take on the close of the encore of the set as compared to Blossom, since the last him and I both went to Blossom, and then the next Dave show that we went to, Dave Matthews Band show, was here in Columbus, and Ben had an interesting take on why he felt the closer for tonight was not as good as Blossom.
No, and I mean, I like both songs. They closed with Ants Marching and Blossom, and then tonight we got Don't Drink the Water as the closer. And I'm a huge fan of both songs, but I just felt that at least at Blossom, when they ended with Ants Marching, it's just such a uplifting song. And I felt like leaving the show, it kind of leaves you walking out of there on a high. Whereas with Don't Drink the Water, obviously, it's a bit of a darker song. And they're not going to end every show with Ants Marching. But I felt like leaving tonight, it was just, I walked out of there feeling a little flattered, you know? Like, I felt like when the show ended at Blossom, I mean, it went out like it was a party, you know? I mean, everybody was still kind of jumping around, and Ants Marching had the energy level really up. And tonight, ending with Don't Drink the Water, was just kind of like, all right, it's done. I don't know. I felt leaving the show at Blossom was a much more positive experience. And Ants Marching was a better closer, at least in my opinion.
Gotcha. Well, what I'll say is this. You guys at Blossom got a rare, solid encore ender. What's been going on this entire tour, for the most part, was they've pretty much said, look, we're going to give you the best of the best at the beginning and middle of most sets. And then the encore is going to be like something where you go beat the traffic. So that was a unique thing that you guys got, that you got Ants Marching to end. But most, like I would say, not like 80 to 90% of the shows, they've had mediocre encores, and then they've just like tonight, they've beefed up the beginning and middle of shows.
Right.
So, and that's what the Grateful or Dead and Company does. That's what some bands do, that where they'll have, you know, most of the fans are going to 4 or 5 shows a year, or maybe not most, but a lot of your hardcore fans are going to 4 or 5 shows minimum. So I think they're saying, look, we're going to give our best at the beginning, in the middle, and, you know, 1 in every 10 shows, you may have an Ants Marching closer. You may have something special closing. But everything else, you're going to have a mediocre closer. But the good news is, at the beginning and middle of shows, you're going to get some of the best intros to shows you've gotten since, to me, 2013.
I thought even before the encore, Alan, they played Die Trying, right? I think that was the last song in the
that was 18.
regular set tonight.
Yeah, I mean, usually, it's not all the time, but I wasn't sure that when it was going to end. I mean, even Ben said, oh, that's it. Because usually, most of the time, they don't say it's our last song, but they'll get thanks for coming, and they play the last song. And I wasn't sure, because they played a lot of shorter songs. I know that when I called you about Blossom, I was saying they played a lot of longer songs at Blossom, which they did play a lot of longer songs. But in the middle, they played a lot of shorter songs. So I felt like they didn't play as long, but they played a longer number of songs. Then when I finally had some service and was able to pull up on my phone, I mean, they ended with, what'd you say, it was 19?
They had 18
in the main set, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, that's it. All right, what are we gonna get for the encore? Like I said, on my tweet for the set list game, that guy who posted replied with his set list. I said I'd love to get another Break Free again. I'm sure they wouldn't replicate that in the encore, but just kind of, okay, well, it's over. What are we gonna get in the encore? And like I said, I was kind of let down by it. Song choice wise, and even Space Between, it's a good song. It's nice to hear. Not raising my fist at it. Hey, how dare you play Space Between? But I don't know. It just kind of fell flat for me. Just like Ben said, like Don't Drink the Water kind of fell flat. I mean, it truly is and I know that you harp on the song for being a wall of sound song, and it's supposed to be more of a mellow, jazzy, haunting song, where now it's just kind of blaring, which it was tonight.
You're talking about Space Between?
No,
Don't drink. Yeah, Don't Drink the Water. I think it's it was better when it was a campfire song. 1998 to about 2004, it was a campfire song, meaning the acoustic guitar drove it, the bass line drove it, and the dynamics built up to the bridge. Now it's loud out the gate. It doesn't have that build up. And that's why I put it on the do not, like, I left during Don't Drink the Water at Mansfield to beat the traffic, because I was just like, I don't think that they play it the best full band. Dave and Tim do it really well, but the full band, Tim is doing too much. I call it the Tim CDC. He does too much of those harmonics. He's too heavy, and there's too early. If he does it at the end, the last 3 minutes of the song, it means more. We're taking your land, not, hey, we come in. They came in and they were nice to the Native Americans, and then they took their land late. At the end, they figured out, oh crap, these they're gonna kill us all. Like, but the Don't Drink the Water now is, we're gonna come off the Mayflower, we're gonna run up. We know nothing about this land, and we're gonna come in and attack all the Native Americans, and pretty much, if it ruins this whole idea of just being stealthy.
Right, and I mean, it is what it is. The song has evolved over time, and for some people it's okay, and for some people it's been it's been done better. So that's all right. I mean, that just is it's personal preference, but that's 2021. That's what you're going to get. So, and you mentioned Tim. Ben and I were talking a little bit about. I know we're not really. You're asking more strictly about the Columbus show, but I think it's good for at least us, because these are the two shows. Well, at least that I've been to. We've both been to Cleveland and Columbus. Ben brought up a good point about Tim tonight, and it seemed to be there was a lot more, not necessarily focus on Tim, because I know you and I have discussed this before, that 2021 Tim seemed to be turned down a little bit, and they figured out how to blend together a little better, where Tim's not as overbearing. But I mean, with Don't Drink the Water, it's that's what you're going to get with some of the stuff. But I know we've talked about that before, but tonight seemed to feature a lot more Tim. And Ben and I were talking about how Blossom show had a lot of Buddy was kind of featured.
Mm-hmm.
No, for sure he was at Blossom. I don't think Tim got any sort of like special solo treatment in Cleveland, where tonight I think there were a couple of different occasions. The one in specific where they had the spotlight on him and everything. And Buddy really didn't get any sort of special love tonight at all compared to what he got in Cleveland. So it was Tim's turn in Columbus.
Yeah, there you go. And I guess what the reaction is from people who were listening like me is the new song, people really like it, and they're saying it's Before These Crowded Streets, last stop, Halloween type energy. Same thing with Minarets. You have that Egyptian style minor pentatonic it's an A minor pentatonic.
And you know what? I remember to mention this when I was looking, because the beginning of it, I thought it was Don't Drink the Water, because it was a similar, that nature intro, that kind of haunting intro that they do before Don't Drink the Water.
Yeah.
And on the Hub app, the DMB Hub app, it popped up with the name of the new song. And I don't remember, it was in my notification, so I didn't tell which one popped up first. But Don't Drink the Water actually popped up at the same time.
Yep, I caught that. I caught that on my phone.
Yeah, someone thought it was, but I thought they pulled from the official site, so maybe someone from the official site thought it was Don't Drink the Water. I don't know, or maybe Don't Drink the Water was there. I didn't see an actual set list, but it was interesting that, because I thought the beginning had that sort of like that feel with that nature intro, even though it was a little bit different. It was similar, but then they went into, it wasn't Don't Drink the Water. I thought it was interesting though to point that out.
Yeah. People thought it was Minarets or Don't Drink the Water. And the Ants Marching app, now they use people. They actually use a lot of spotters at the shows. That's why they got it wrong. And they've and it's not their fault. I mean, it sounded like a "Don't Drink the Water" intro.
Yeah,
So,
I just thought it was
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And the other thing is, just to let you know what people are saying, I think one person said, "You're a lucky man if this was your worst show." But I think the biggest thing, given the history of 2021, the fact that there were 2 liberations, and the fact that, because we know, like in 2021, we know the encores aren't going to be as amazing as they were, right? The encores are beat the traffic, even SPAC night 2. Like, it wasn't a good encore. But I think what people are raving about is the fact from song 1 to 11. So that's Granny Nancy's Warehouse, Broken Things Sweet, So Right Pig, Dive In, When the World Ends, Madman Eyes, number 41. That's over half the show. It's about just over half, because it's 24 songs. That was the best run to start off a show, and it's arguably the best show of the year, just because we got the 2 liberations, we got a solid first half of the show, and we know that they don't end the band, and some of this is Carter, right? Carter, the reason they're kind of mailing in these encores is because Carter talked to Matt Norlander in New Hampshire and said he's really getting he's having a lot of pain. So I think the perception from people that like me who listened online is this was one of the best shows of this tour, or some people are saying it's the best, because the first half of the show was just fire.
Yeah, for me, I know it sounds silly, but for me, it was still a 10 out of 10 show. It's just a lot of the shows I've been to, and some of the people listening, or I guess listening in the chat, or people listening after. I mean, I did a video on my channel about why I haven't been to as many Dave Matthews Band shows as I probably could have, which I've talked to you about that. My first Dave Matthews Band show was '98 at Blossom. But I haven't been to that, so it might be my least favorite show, but I haven't been to as many shows as someone might think, as some of the other people in the crowd. That's show 100 for me, and all that. But a lot of the other shows that I've been to, there was, a lot some special things that happened at a couple of the shows, the Charlottesville show in 2018 for me, which obviously you know about.
Right.
And so there are a lot of different special moments in a lot of the other shows. Not that there weren't any here. Like I said, it was an enjoyable show. Came down with my buddy Ben. And it's always a good time to go to a show with him. And it just, overall, there were some things that picked the boxes on some of the other shows that were, that made the other shows more enjoyable. And really, if you know the story about why I hadn't been to as many shows as you thought, I guess 1998 might have been my least favorite show. Just because, well, the thing with that is, quickly, long story short, I was in the lawn and at Blossom in '98, and it's just like there was so much going on in the lawn that it was hard to hear the band and get a focus on the band. So it wasn't really that an enjoyable experience. But I do remember enjoying hearing the band. It just, the experience wasn't that good for me. So I guess really, if you want to get technical about it, I guess '98 might have been my least favorite show. Now I know the people listening are going to say, "You're a lucky man if '98 is your least favorite show." Right?
Oh no, yeah.
I mean, that was so long ago anyway, I there's a tape floating around there with the '98 show, but it's not very good quality. So, but I've been a fan of the band since '94, and they've been my top 10 favorite bands since then. So, yeah, I mean, there's it was a good show.
And,
sum it all up, it was a good show.
Yeah, and what did you think? Because this is what we talked about before, is when I went in 2018, I went to summer shows and I went to what was the fall/winter tour. And I thought the indoor shows, you have less variables as far as no wind, no rain. I thought the indoor shows sounded better than the outdoor shows. What did you think of the sound in tonight compared to the sound of the band, the mix of the band in Blossom?
Well, I sent you a message about that as well. I thought it sounded really, really good. I did notice, I was trying to keep a little focus on that just for some talking points here when you call them. But I noticed at some points the horns were a little low in the mix at some points, and I noticed Jeff was fidgeting with probably his the volume he probably had on. Maybe it was just his monitors or something. He was fidgeting with something on his belt, so maybe he was adjusting some sort of microphone volume. I don't know.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know what all goes into that as far as the mixing goes, but I noticed at some points the horns seemed a little low in the mix. And tonight was an indoor show at Nationwide Arena, and Blossom in September. I thought it sounded just as good at Blossom. I really didn't notice the difference. Like you talked about the different variables. I even thought, I think at Blossom there was a little bit times where the horns were a little bit low in the mix. I don't know, Ben, what did you think about the mix then?
I thought the mix was fine. I know the band had mentioned this was their first show completely indoors in a very long time, but I thought both the horns sounded great, to be honest with you, and I didn't see an issue with the mix at all. Everybody seemed to sound fine. That's interesting that you picked up on that, though. Maybe you got a little bit of a keener ear when it comes to music and mixes and things of that nature. So
maybe the LASIK affected my ears.
That could very well be. That could very well.
How about I mention this? I'll tell you this. Did I tell you that I got LASIK? Not you, Ben, but you, Mr. Consterbids 34.
You got LASIK?
Yeah, I didn't tell you. Okay, no. Yeah, I got LASIK last month, so I'm glasses free.
Oh. Okay.
But I wanted to. I had my glasses on because I had to keep my glasses on for I couldn't wear my contacts for a period of time before I got LASIK. So I had my glasses on for the Blossom show, and I kept pushing my glasses real close to my eyes to try to look at the band and watch the band, and see what it looked like with my glasses. And then this was my first show with LASIK. It was been exactly a month since I got it. And I know this has nothing to do. Anyone listening or watching or went to the show who would have to have just got LASIK to be able to experience or discuss this. But I don't know. I can see kind of the same with my glasses, I guess. But if anybody wants to know what it's like with glasses versus LASIK, they look kind of the same.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. I will say this. I'd rather have the horns down than up. And it's not because of Jeff Coffin. It's because of Rashawn Ross, who decides I want to use the treble clef, the upper registers of the treble clef above the 5-line staff, and which is fine for very sparing rare parts of the show. But I actually, come to think of it, when I think about listening to the show, there was not a moment tonight where I was like, bro, Rashawn needs to turn down. So I guess, although I love Jeff playing how he plays, he's never too loud. Rashawn being turned down, or oops, we accidentally turned down your monitor, Rashawn. We turned down your mix. Right. I'll take that over it. And I think the other thing too is just to give people perspective, Alan lives in Ohio, and we had Connor make a comment in the chat earlier when he first came on. Dave loves Ohio. Between the Blossom shows, you guys get some special stuff. Riverbend can be pretty good. It's hit or miss, but there's some, when Riverbend hits, it hits. Although it's really North Kentucky. And
there's a few. I think there's a few. I there's the Blossom live tracks.
Yep.
I think there's a few Riverbend ones. More, I know there's one. Maybe there's two. Or
there may be one or two.
Riverbend. So I could be wrong.
Right.
Maybe there's two at most. But so they do like Ohio, I guess.
Right.
So I guess I'm lucky for that.
And part of that is, so you've been to Ohio. I know you've been to West Palm Beach. in Tampa,
Charlottesville.
So you've really, I think your perspective, you've avoided some of the less than ideal shows. Like you didn't go to Detroit, right? If you went to DTE this year, you would have been disappointed. That would have been your worst show. So that's just to give people perspective too, is like you said, he hasn't gone to a bajillion shows, but he's been in 98.
I'm cognizant of the what's good to go to, the destination shows. That
You're picking the best of what's around, where if people who are watching, watching this, you're like, hey, what is he talking about? This is that if you go to another thing too is with Blossom, compared to your average Live Nation venue, some of these venues outside of Blossom and SPAC and Deer Creek, and even Deer Creek, the lawn speakers, right? They don't upgrade the audio. The Nationwide Arena has better speakers or more up-to-date speakers than your local Live Nation venue. And that's because between the Blue Jackets, between potential March Madness men's basketball gigs, they have to update these arenas more than they update an amphitheater, which it doesn't matter how the amphitheater speakers are on the lawn. Half the people are drunk. They haven't updated some of these in Jersey and New York and Mansfield, Mass, and Hartford. They haven't updated the speakers in 15, 20 years, if not longer. So I think that's the other thing too, is coming from other parts of the country that don't have a Blossom, which is a gym, which I'll have to get out to one day. A lot of fans listen to a show like tonight on Sirius XM, and they're like, wow, this was better than the other Sirius XMs. And I think it's because most of them are these venues. That's a whole nother topic. But of these Live Nation venues, they do the bare minimum to upgrade it. And it's not, there's not really justified because most people in the lawn are not audio snobs. But that's why I think that this arena tour sounds better on Sirius XM, right? You're saying the sound is about the same as Blossom, which is a quality venue for sound. That's what I like about this part of the tour. And as you saw tonight, I think some people wrote off this for various reasons. COVID, people wrote it off for, hey, I got Christmas time's coming up financially. I got to get the kids presents. But a lot of people tonight on social media were like, oh man, I sold my tickets. I didn't buy tickets. I wish I would have went to Columbus. I wish I would have locked in Madison Square Garden or Mohegan and took the time off of work. A lot of people on social media are saying, oh, this show set the tone that at least, hey, we're going to get some of these rarities back. So there's a lot to be excited about. And Alan, we'll meet up on Monday and Tuesday for the Mohegan shows. I look forward to meeting you and the wife coming up next week.
Yep. We'll be heading out there, soon in a couple of days, and then we'll meet up and enjoy some Dave Matthews Band. I'm nice to meet you as well after all these years virtual.
Yes.
But we'll go from there, and looking forward to seeing what Mohegan brings us. So we'll talk to you then, and I'd say safe travels, but that'll be me.
Yeah, drive safe, and we're gonna try to get another guest on in a bit. Hopefully, I know she's driving. She's in the Cleveland area as well, so she's driving that 2 hours or so back.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. So, all right, well,
we'll try to connect her.
And I'll listen to what they have to say, after the broadcast. And once we get home, I think we're still about maybe 40 minutes out. So,
okay.
All right, well, we'll talk to you during the week. And
all right.
Hello to everyone listening and watching and chatting. And hope you enjoyed the broadcast if you listened, and listening to Ben and I ramble on about our Dave Matthews Band experience.
Yeah, no, really appreciate it. You have a good rest of your night. Drive safe. Take care.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, bye. All right, so that was Alan T. From the greater Cleveland area. And I know, like I said, I know people are saying, hey, man, like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, how can you say this is one of your worst shows? I mean, I think that this was, you could argue, a show of the year, a show of the tour. just because you got, and if you see up here, I have the 2018 show, and this is why I tell people not to forget what happened the last time you were at the venue. Look at what's going on with this tour. Look what's going on with the band. Consider where we are now, because this 2018 show had Break Free, right? You could argue head to head this was a better show in 2018. However, it's not 2018. It's 2021. So for 2021, this is a heck of a show. And that is really what the story is. That's the story of tonight. This is a heck of a show. The first 11 songs are solid. After that, you get the She tour debut. I didn't need that. I don't think anyone needed that, right? But then you go right to Great Street Lover Lay Down. Sledgehammer, don't need it. It sounded great, but we didn't need it. And then you got the So Much to Say bridge, Too Much, You Might Die Trying. But what I will say is I will always trade a mediocre closing for a top first half or nice beginning middle of a main set. I will do that every time, right? I don't need to personally, at this point I've been to, around 30 shows. So I don't need this crazy closer, right? I shoot all your best shots in the first hour and a half of the show, right? Because most bands play for an hour and a half, or the first hour and 10 minutes of a show. Just give me your best stuff. I ain't gonna be mad, right? And now Mohegan, I'll be probably staying for those shows just to meet up with people. But if I wasn't staying at Mohegan, I would love a Don't Drink the Water closer, right? I would love it just to beat the traffic. So I really think that I'm able to suck up those encores. So Austin P says Bias Hoosier here, but Deer Creek Night 2 opening run was really good. What's the Deer Creek? We'll pull that up. Let's see. I mean, yeah, and I'm trying to get to Austin. My goal is to get out to Deer Creek next year. That's what I'm trying to do. I have not been to that venue. I haven't been to Alpine, but they probably won't play Alpine. So you're saying Deer Creek. Let me see if I can find that here. So Deer Creek Night 2. The opening run of Deer Creek Night 2. Maybe, well, here's the thing about that. If we take the first, let's just say we'll give it to 12, right? Let's just put this head to head, the first 12. What I'll say about Deer Creek Night 2 is this. You have a pig in there, you have a Stone. A Sugar Will Stone, that's a great hit. But what I would say about tonight is, first of all, Can't Stop is trash, right? Funny the Way It is okay. Where Are You Going is a bathroom break song. I mean, like I said, that's your opinion, right? That's that's your show. Like, I'm not saying you can't have that, but I would say for me personally, and then you have the bridge Too Much to Walk Around the Moon, but I would say that this was a better start. Because you have two songs. Broken Thing has only been played, it's been played less than 30 times. You have a So Right, you have a Pig, a Dive In that hasn't been played. I think the biggest thing is Liberations, right? You can get a Stone, Sugar Will, it's only one or two. That's probably I think Sugar Will is like the best. Sugar Will and the Stone is the best part of that Deer Creek Night. Love to have a beer at Deer Creek. Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated about that. Again, I have some weddings and things that may impact if I can go to Deer Creek. But other than that, if everything clears as far as the weddings and stuff like that, I should be able to go. But yeah, this is still a solid. I mean, again, this is still a great show that you got at Deer Creek. And Deer Creek is known to bring, you have those great shows. It's known to have great shows, but I think overall this is a solid show. And in the new song, what did someone say here? In Austin, John is he's messing around. Like John loves this band, but John is just troll. Don't take him to he's just messing around. What did someone say? Austin, you did say, yeah, that's DMB. They don't have a style. Yeah. I mean, again, that I think overall, I would agree that people want this dark DMB, right? So this new song was the step in the right direction. And they blend genres, right? But it is a throwback. They haven't had this dark sound in a while. But I think they should. I'd rather have this than that happy-go-lucky stuff. And I'm happy that Dave's happy in his life. I wish him the best peace and joy. But look, we don't want come tomorrow. Come tomorrow will change everything. Like, nah, stop it, Dave. But I think this is a solid shot. Let's see. And thank you guys. I know a lot of people been hitting me up on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, ConcertVids34. So let me, if you want to follow me, I'll put that on here. And thank you. And I think it's because shout out to Trish and DMB Gorge crew. They've been promoting my stuff. I tagged them in some stuff. And let's take a look. I want to show you guys how I reacted to show you how I reacted to some of the stuff going on. So this is my Instagram. To follow me on IG. And if you look at my story. Oops.
Listen to that, man.
So this look.
Are you kidding me, bro? Broken Things, son. First time since July of 2013. Bro, it's almost been a decade. That's 8 years. Listen to this. Oh, and the piano's in it too. You can hear Buddy. Yo, you can hear Buddy. You can hear Buddy Strong with the little pianos on it. Let's go. Let's go. Broken Things liberated. Let's go. Woo! Listen to that, man. It's beautiful. Yo, stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. The first dive in since 2016. What? They're not playing. They're not playing around, folks. They're not playing around. Put some respect on this band's name. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Let's go. It's your boy ConcertVids34. It's 10:22 Eastern right now.
So that was on Instagram. You guys can check me out on there, ConcertVids34. And like I said, thank you for everyone who's been subscribing. I don't know if we're going to be able to I'm going to wait a little longer to see if we can get our second guest. But again, there is a little bit of a drive there for them to get back to the greater Cleveland area, Cuyahoga County area there outside of Cleveland. So, but I mean, this was a great step in the right direction. And I know people have this, like, I've been hearing this, and this is everyone. There's no opinion that I'll give you my opinion, but I'll listen to anyone's opinion. This isn't like an echo chamber by any means. It's not an echo chamber by any means. But what I'll say is some people seem to be discouraged by these arena shows, and I get it, right? To certain extents about, it's not the same being a summertime show outdoors. Just take away the concerns for COVID, the restrictions for COVID. Let's just take all of that out. Some people still don't like arenas. If we were able to come in, no mask, no vaccination card, whatever, no tests, there'd be frustrated people, right? There's always going to be people that don't like arena shows. And what I'll say is that, to me, if you really give it a chance, if you really just try, just like, for instance, if you were to go to Mohegan or Madison Square Garden, to me, the sound is better because there's, again, less variables. These arenas are competitive. To get certain acts, they have to do more, where the amphitheaters, they pretty much are guaranteed because they have a lawn, right, that holds 5,000, 10,000 people. And then they have seats for 7,000, 6,000, 5,000 people. They pretty much get these bands every year. It doesn't matter how the audio is. But the in arenas for the arenas, they have to keep it competitive to get people out to hockey games and to get people out to basketball games and to be a potential venue for conferences and other stuff. So the arenas are always upgrading things. They're always changing seats, changing ribbon boards, changing designs, because it's competitive. When there's arena tours, they don't just book every Live Nation venue. Like the amphitheaters. The amphitheaters is a monopoly Live Nation has. There's some non-Live Nation venues, but essentially they can book a whole tour, negotiate all at once. But for arenas, it's very competitive, and that's why I say the seats and stuff are upgraded, the concessions, all that stuff is better to me at arenas. And also the view of the band. When you're in the lawn, depending on the lawn you're in, sometimes you can't see the band. You can be in the upper deck of Columbus or Mohegan or Madison Square Garden. Yes, you're going to be far from the band, but you have a direct view of the stage, right? You're closer to the stage than if you are in the lawn. For most parts, you're just higher up. And I find that the sound is better and carries better to the upper deck than it does to the lawn in most venues. Again, there's exceptions. But to me, I would really say if you're second guessing going to a arena, just give it a try. Just give it a try. And more people are there for the music at arenas. Yes, people do get, like Alan said, someone was drunk in front of him. But there are more people that go just for DMB, where like an outdoor concert, people are just like, hey, it's sunny, it's nice out, let me go to the lawn, right? And people, a lot of casual or first-time people are there. But when you go to an arena tour, there's less shows, there's sometimes more traveling, you're getting more fans, and I think that makes it a better experience. Listen, the summertime is great. There's nothing like summer. But the arena tours have a quality to it. Like if you went to this show, right? You go to one show in Columbus, you get Broken Things and Dive In, right? Last time we had a fall/winter tour like this, although this is another part of their really summer tour, right? Even though it's the fall. But when I went to Mohegan in 2018, we got Kill the King, right? Break Free was played in Columbus in 2018. So I just think that there's a quality to it that you don't see in the you can go a whole summer and you're not seeing these songs like Dive In and Broken Things, and that's what makes these fall tours pretty dope. So there's still tickets available for some of these shows. I know Mohegan is tough, right? If you're going to Grand Rapids, you got to be in Michigan right now, right? Or you got to be within a couple hours drive, or you have to have your flight booked. So Michigan may be out of the question, but if you're in the Northeast, there's still tickets for Mohegan. Madison Square Garden is expensive. That's the unicorn, but there still are tickets available. And with these shows, you tend to get a better deal. The Columbus tickets were fairly priced, even for the lowers. There were some lowers on StubHub, $80 plus fees today. So The fall tour, you get more bang for your buck. To be close to the stage, next to the stage, you can get a nice seat in the risers in the lower level. And it's just, to me, you can see the band more closer than the summertime. The sound is better. The songs, you get some more rarities. Oh, so Kaju Basement Tony C is driving back to Michigan right now. So you're doing Grand Rapids. Hey, if you want to call in, I don't know if you have Instagram or Twitter, but if you want to call in, message me on one of those mediums, or just if you have Facebook, I mean not Facebook, because I'm not on Facebook with ConcertViz 34, Instagram or Twitter, ConcertViz 34, just message me, and we'll try to get you on, or come in the chat tomorrow if you're able to. We'd love to hear from you what you thought, or put it in the comments if you don't get the stream tomorrow. If you're driving somewhere tomorrow, driving back from Grand Rapids, just put your thoughts in the comment, because the main thing about this show is we want to hear from people who were at the show, see what they thought, what they felt. But it looks like what I'll try to do is we'll see if we can get Jessica in tomorrow, because it is right now we're over an hour 17 minutes. I typically don't go past an hour 10 minutes for most shows, but if you're new here, again, thank you guys for watching. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to comment. Again, I'm open to hearing different vantage points of this band, what you like, what you don't like. Don't feel intimidated. I will give you data. I will give you stats. I will give you my opinions, and sometimes they're strong opinions, but I'll always give you reasons, so at least you can understand my perspective when it comes to this band, because there's stuff I like, but there's stuff I don't like. I don't believe in painting this band as everything about this band I love, just like everything about my parents I don't love. Like, I don't, everything about my girlfriend, everything about people in my life, there's stuff I like and there's stuff I don't like, right? But overall, there's a reason why I do this, why I watch these, these videos of people who are at the shows, why I go to so many shows. And it's because I ultimately love the Dave Matthews Band. And I love, just the community here that we have. So see, that's really, that's all I got for tonight, but stay tuned for tomorrow, Grand Rapids. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about some other stuff, and that's current events for the Dave Matthews Band. We got a new live tracks that's coming out for Deer Creek. And we'll get into some more conversations tomorrow. And again, anyone, if you're watching this, you're going to Grand Rapids, like Kaju Basement Tony C, let us know, and we'll try to get your input if you were at the show. That's what we try to do, is if you were at the show, how did you feel? What did you like? What didn't you like being there? Because it's one thing to listen to it on SiriusXM. It's another thing to be there and pick up on different things at the venue. And it's a beautiful thing when we're able to get people in here that were at the show. But that's all I got for tonight. It's your boy ConcertViz 34. Let me see. We're gonna close it out with our ending video, and hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Take care.